So I'm very excited to be doing my roundup of 2022 for you all, but I had found out something yesterday when I was about to upload this update for you all. Okay, so the update is I'm going grocery shopping right now, so they demonetized the channel, and then every single time, like sometimes they get back to me 24 hours later, 48 hours later, but every single time it's like a new person that doesn't really understand what's going on. They didn't read the email before, they don't have context, and then they keep on repeating like, what are your offenses, repetitive content from another channel, how can you fix it, how can you reapply, and and I'm trying to tell them, well, you think that my whole channel is essentially a copy of itself, so even if the only way that I could even reapply 30 days later is if I take down my entire channel. And yeah, so that's kind of the situation now, is like I'm not really getting a response, and it seems like I can't I can't monetize the channel anymore. So I'm hoping that I was on chat with one of the associates like 2 days ago, and he said maybe he can send us over and get an internal team to look at it, but I haven't heard back from him yet, because initially, like I told you all, the appeal that I made was rejected, which is crazy. They're kind of like arguing with me of like, your channel is not your channel. You are not you. It's crazy. I feel like I'm talking to like robots, like half humans, half robots, and it's just like, yeah. So pretty much late yesterday night, when I was about to upload that update for you all, I saw this tab up top in the YouTube Creator Studio, where that's where you would upload your videos, saying, oh, congratulations, you qualify for monetization. Click here to do blah, 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 blah. And I thought, okay, like maybe there's some issue with this, because I have been in talks with, you know, these guys, these robots, for the past couple of days, and for sure they would have emailed me in that chain to be like, hey, like, you know, we fixed the issue, whatever. But they did not. They waited until 7 a.m. this morning, and it was just a general automated response of your channel has now been remonetized. I don't mean to be petty, but it was a very dehumanizing experience. When I got a person to chat to, or when I applied for the appeal, it was like they pretty much trusted the computer and the robots a lot more than they trusted me. They were literally like saying to me like, no, this has nothing to do with your hack. It is just because your channel violated these things. You need to go and look at what you have copied, and then you need to take it down. And it really got to the point where like I had to be like, listen, like whoever you are, wherever you are, like this is my life. Like I did not do this. Please, like I need to talk to someone. I believe it was this person, Jerome, thank you, that he was like, okay, like maybe I can find someone internal to look at this for you, because yeah, otherwise it was a mix of like, I think these people were human, but I also thought that they were not. Okay, so you all are in luck, because I have never done a recipe recap for the year before. So I thought, instead of just doing 2022, I looked through everything, all 720 videos, 7+ years of being on this channel, and I took it all the way back to the beginning. So some of this is going to be a little bit down memory lane, but these are going to be my favorite recipes, like my favorite, like delicious, everything recipes of all time. So number one, gosh, one of my favorite recipes all the way back 6 years ago, fluffy Taiwanese style scallion pancakes. Hey guys, so today we're gonna be making something called hand-grabbed
pancakes, and they're a cousin of sort of the scallion pancakes, but I guess the inspiration for them came from, I don't know how many of you guys read my website, my blog, but I had a reader recently send me something where she was really homesick. She was from Taiwan, and she was looking at my scallion pancake recipe, and one of my biggest things about scallion pancakes is
so young. I looked so little back then, and I wore that dress to like a wedding, and I was like, oh, this is pretty, like let's
layer throughout the dough, and then that's what's going to create that puff pastry effect, and that is what's going to make this pancake so light and so fluffy and flaky. Is you're getting each part of this dough to be so thin, so in effect you're actually creating kind of more layers because you're rolling it up, and then each layer is super thin.
With scallion pancakes, I mean, in general they're fluffy because you do try to build layers into them. The Taiwanese style actively is making layers. What are the spices for this? It's probably 5 spice because the Taiwanese love their 5 spice. 5 spice powder, some star anise in addition to your scallions. So there's like this very unique kind of sweet and spicy type flavor to that.
When both sides are good and done like that, that's when you get to kind of this hand-pulled pancakes part. So taking tongs or some chopsticks, you want to actually lift up the layers so that you expose them. So want to kind of scrunch it up, because that'll kind of give it kind of a nice poofy effect and puff it up, and it'll also help break up the layers as well. So afterwards, this guy is pretty much ready to serve, and you can see all of the layers and the crunchiness and the scallions, and what you're not getting is that awesome kind of star anisey 5 spice spiciness in the background.
But this was in my apartment in Cambridge, and we had this galley kitchen, so it was just skinny. It was super skinny, and I would try to fit a tripod, and at that time I was shooting just with my phone, which I kind of want to get back to doing. Okay, so number 9 is going to be these pan-fried scallion and sausage buns. So I did them 2 years ago, and the reason why they are crazy, deadly, delicious. The dough itself is also slightly a little bit more sweet. You steam the buns first so that they're all nice and puffy and soft on the inside, and then afterwards you pan fry them as well. So when you fry buns, you get a completely different nice crunchy texture on the outside, and this one you have scallions and you have little bits of vegan sausage, little bits of salty bits on the inside, and it was so addictive.
For that, I'm actually going to push these little rolls down, and I actually found that they puffed up a lot because of the yeast once they started steaming, so you can be fairly rough with them. You can push them down. They'll be fine.
Number 8, so this is another 2 year ago recipe. I think it was 2020, bad year for the world. Very good year for me in terms of recipes, because I made a lot of things that I like there. Japanese wafu salad dressing. So I hate salads. I am not someone who in particular likes salads, and so when I had this at a local Japanese restaurant, what is amazing about this salad, really I think you can put whatever vegetables that you want in there, but is that dressing. It is a savory dressing that is still clean tasting. It is not creamy or anything at all, but it consists of soy sauce, rice wine vinegar, crushed up roasted sesame, and also a pureed onion in there as well. So it's amazing what a pureed onion can do. I know a lot of people don't really like onion. It's a little too strong, but after you grate it, you let it kind of oxidize a little bit. It really blends into the soy sauce and everything so well, and it makes for an amazingly savory but really addictive kind of dressing. Yeah, so if you don't like vegetables and you don't like salad like I do, give this wafu Japanese oil-free dressing a try. So I used to make this one a lot more, and then I got lazy and I stopped making it as much. The Chinese potato gnocchi.
So the recipe I'm going to show you today is translated to potatoes nest in Chinese, and it's essentially Chinese gnocchi. It's made from potatoes and potato starch, only instead of a nest shape, which is traditionally done, we are going to use bottle tops to turn it into a mushroom shape. So it's actually like potato gnocchi mushrooms with this gorgeous meatless meat sauce on top. So I really hope you guys all enjoy, because it's quite a special recipe.
When I do my voiceovers, sometimes I end up sounding really, really serious because I'm like, okay, like this is the information that I have to read off, whatever, that like I remind myself, like smile, remember to smile as you say something, because when you smile and you say something, it like forces you to really like sound like you're enjoying the process. And I do, I'm happy explaining the whole process, but usually like the fourth or fifth time that I've like gone through just saying something. And I usually don't have a script because I'm not organized like that, and I just think it takes too much time for me to write out the whole thing. So I just do it like in the moment of, which may have bit me in when YouTube asks like, okay, like where are all of your scripts? Like what do you know, like are you sure that you didn't copy off of anybody? And I'm like, you know, I just naturally do it on the spot. I think what's really good about these gnocchi is it is a mix of like whole potatoes, just mashed up, whole potatoes and then potato starch. Remember the Legends of Arceus Pokemon recipe? It is that similar in texture, where it's like more chewy and it's more bouncy than you would get just from like a normal, you know, pasta or gnocchi. This mix of starch, of potato starch and potatoes, makes for like the best like chewy kind of bouncy texture that I had never had before that. Lazy me, of course, is like I don't want to make this each and every time. So what I do after I finish steaming the gnocchi is I just put everything into the freezer. And so therefore next time when you need it again, just re-steam it and then it'll get like nice and soft again. Tell me I'm only on number 7, so we need to quicken this up a little bit. So number 6. Love a lot of them, so I'm gonna give you all my full list because it was really hard to pick from like 7 to 8 years of recipes. And, so number 6 is going to be the kitsune soba or udon recipe, depending on, you know, what kind of noodles that you want to have. This one, I think I tried to make like a hack version of it. The flavors are magical because it's typical, you know, Japanese, like it's sweet, it's salty. I think that there's some kind of mirin or like a rice wine type flavor in there. It's just really easy to make. You just make the kind of like the soup stock broth, and then you cook the tofu, like the fried tofu pouches in there, and it just takes up this like salty, sweet, like rice wine, mirin-esque flavor, and then really like any kind of vegetables that you want. I go back to it time and time again. And now that I'm trying to eat a little bit healthier, heading away from all of the oil and stuff, what I'll do is I will cut kind of semi-thin sheets of tofu, and then I'll stick it into the air fryer. It dries out a little bit, but it also gets crunchy, so that when you put it into the broth, it soaks up all of that flavor, and the texture also changes when you put in something that's been dried or like that has been crunchy into liquid. It's just this like weird soggy fried texture that is very, very good. Number 5. Chinese 5-spice tofu. Wow. The spice mix is just salt, white pepper, 5-spice, garlic powder, sugar. This spice rub you could rub on anything and it would be absolutely delicious. Yeah, and it was just, it's like a recipe where it's savory enough that just that, and maybe like if you have, you know, hopefully some vegetables and some rice on the side, it's so addictive. Like you could eat this forever. I'm not sure how good it is for you, but you could eat this forever. So number 4 is when I do the Daily Dozen Dr. Greger, the mapo tofu recipe, the healthy mapo tofu. Because this was like one of the first recipes where I was like, wow, I'm putting in all of these whole foods. There's like no oil, no anything in there. And it's fabulous tasting. Like it's so good for you. There's tofu, there's beans, there's all of these, like I put, I think, string beans in there too. So it's like everything that you need in one meal and having that be really good for you. I think the only thing that to note is, did I put like miso in there as salt? I must have, but the only thing to note is like if you are low salt, if you do have issues with salt, that is something that you can adjust along the way. People reminded me when they sent me mail that, like, you know, like sometimes they look on my channel for, you know, recipes that are both delicious but also like actually healthy at the same time, because many people, like, they have allergies, they have different health conditions, and so many other channels, like it's so easy to put like bacon or like fake cheese or like whatever into food and then having that taste like really good. And I think what I'm trying to say is, like, let's see if we can actually make food that is good for you taste good and not have to like fry and not have to like add in all of those like extraneous things. The little bit of sesame oil really helps, but nowadays what I do is I toast up some sesame seeds and then I grind it up and then I put it over that so that I don't have to use the oil. I just want to make sure that people, like, yeah, I want to make sure that when I teach people how to like cook and like how to eat, that they eat well. Like I don't want you to die from why, like Dr. Greger, I'm doing the shout out again. Go on to Nutrition Facts. Like there's so much information there. It's a really good YouTube channel if you want to learn more about your health and how food relates to your health. Like that's really great, and he has like recipe books and everything as well. So number 3, I am going to do, yeah, I was not sure. I had a couple of dessert recipes that I really like that I think people don't necessarily look at because they're like Asian desserts and it might be a little bit weird. So, Hi. So today we are doing a Chinese dessert again, and I'm going to be doing a ginger milk pudding with you all. And the reason that this recipe is super cool is because with 2 ingredients, ginger juice and a non-dairy milk with protein in it. The ginger juice actually acts with the protein and coagulates the milk. So it's 2 ingredients, like 3 with some sugar, but 2 ingredients make this kind of like tofu, super soft pudding come to life.
So I added about 1 tablespoon of ginger juice into each bowl, and then right around 3/4 of a cup, maybe a little bit more, to a cup in each bowl.
The easy soy curls stir fry. I think I liked this recipe because it was incredibly easy. I just took like some like vegan stock, some soy curls, some vegetables, and I cooked them all together and I thickened it with, I think it was just a little bit of, yeah, it was just a little bit of cornstarch.
We are going to be continuing with our Soya Chunks Soy Curls recipe series, and this time I am going to show you guys a really easy stir fry sauce with a ton of vegetables with the soy curls that we're going to pour over a bed of hot rice. And you can cook the whole thing from start to finish in about 20 minutes flat. So it's an amazing dinner for you and your family, and it's just super, super delicious. So I can't wait to show you guys this recipe.
Sorry, just looking at myself. Right, so pretty much everything that I said in the beginning there. So my soy curls, I think, have like a little bit of wheat gluten in there, even though it was just soy curls. But people tell me that the butler ones, like are they really good? I haven't been able to get my hands on them here, although I haven't really tried that hard. But that is like people say a whole foods soy curl. So do they put more of the actual like edamame bean in there? Like, let me know how the butler soy curl tastes, because I still have not tried that, and I'm wondering, like, does it pretty much taste the same? Because then it would be like a whole foods, like a proper whole foods soy curl. There are so many more. So like I'm now fighting between the Hong Kong, like the Hong Kong the Chung Fan, which is the Hong Kong rice noodle with peanut butter and hoisin sauce. That, in my youth, I used to get every weekend when we would go to Chinatown, because it was so magical. But that is not number two, because I don't have that much space. Number one, I'm gonna put that Korean tofu that I've recently made this year. And it's 5 minutes, quick, easy dinner recipes that people like, and indeed they did like it. 14,000 views later. Okay, but the reason why this is number one is it is a really quick, like, go-to dinner recipe or lunch recipe where you don't have to cook it. Like the silken tofu, you can just take straight out of the box. The sauce, you just mix in a separate bowl. So in a lot of ways, it's kind of like pouring dressing onto tofu, but it's like savory enough to function as a dinner by itself, or as, you know, a lunch by itself. And you know, if you have some grains, some rice, some vegetables, like, that's all you need. And it pretty much takes about 5 minutes to put all together. So I would say this is number one. It's so bittersweet because I put that as number one. Obviously, I still have the Hong Kong rice noodles left, and then I still have something called the Chengdu noodles, which are like these thick noodles that had a sweet, sweetened soy sauce, but spiced sweetened soy sauce. There's so much that I wrote down that I can't do. So yeah, so that's it. That's gonna be my top 10 of 2022, but then 2022 since the beginning of time. And hopefully, like, next year I'll be able to do a proper 2023 and yeah, have less of an issue picking all of the recipes. I just wanted to say to everyone, you know, happy New Year tomorrow, and just thank you so much for your responses, both in the previous video, but like also some of you have emailed me as well, and reading some of those emails makes me feel like, oh my gosh, I'm not worth that. But reading those emails really reminded me of the effects that I wanted for this channel, and to be able to take people traveling through food, to be able to bring people back to a nostalgic time of, you know, old recipes from when, you know, like mom used to make it, to also areas like having people eat healthier, right? When I started, all vegan food was a go, but you know, as the years have gone on, I've learned with you all, you know, what it means to eat healthier and to, you know, eat well, but then also to make sure that your health is okay, so that you can watch this channel for forever. When I started this channel, of course, like, it was just all recipes all the time, but selfishly, I had really wanted the channel eventually to become like, you know, food and vlog and everything. Selfishly, along the way, I kind of wanted people to, like, also enjoy my company as well, and to miss the channel, not only like or to like watch the channel not only for food, but then also like for me and to keep company as well. So thank you for all of those like nice words that you have said. I really appreciate it, and just like people literally reached out and offered like help, and that's been so like I feel like I don't deserve it. So I just wanted to say thank you and have a happy and a healthy new year, and I'm looking forward to more videos with you all. Hopefully nothing bad happens like in the next week. Hopefully like everything is okay with the channel and everything. So so I'll see you guys all again. I'll see you all next year. Okay? All right, bye.